So good evening. My name is Yatich Antony. I'm gonna take you through geodynamics, sedimentology, and stratigraphy as our subject. So I want to welcome you to our lesson, and I'm going to take attendance for this lesson. Let me call out the names. Nelson Serem, Sharon, we have Vivian, we have Kibi. So thank you for your attendance to this class. And our title for this unit is we are going to learn about mineralogy. So our outcomes is to define the term rocks and describe the types of rocks. Those are the outcomes of our lesson. So in definition, we are going to define the term rocks. So rocks is any natural occurring solid mass or an aggregate of minerals, matters. It's categorized by the mineral, including its chemical composition and the way it is formed on the Earth's surface. So any solid material which we found on any planet or at the Earth's surface form part of the rocks. So that is our definition of rocks. So let's proceed and make some more information about rocks. So rocks form the Earth's outer solid layer, that is the crust, and most of it is interior, except for the liquid outer core and which forms the magma in the asthenosphere. So that is the definition of rocks. So we are going to look at the types of rocks as our second objective. We describe various types of rocks. So according to our lesson, we have three main types of or classes of rocks. We have the sedimentary rocks, we have metamorphic, and we have the igneous rocks. Some of the types of rocks which we found on the Earth's surface. So from the image on your screen, you can see I've categorized those types of rocks into igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic, showing the images. So we will discuss each and every type of rocks, and we shall compare the differences. We know how they look alike in appearance and how they are formed. So we will start with sedimentary rocks. So sedimentary rocks are formed from particle of sand shell or any fragment of material. So together, all the particles are called sediment. So all these particles, which include the sand shell and other fragments, they are called sediment. So gradually the sediment accumulate in layers and over a long period of time hardens into the rocks. So for these sedimentary rocks, they are being carried out maybe by an agent like a wind or raining water through the process of erosion, and they accumulate in a certain depositional environment to form this type of rocks. So that is one of the types of rocks we are looking into. The second one, we have the metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks are formed under the surface of the Earth from the metamorphism changes that occur due to intense heat and pressure. So this type of rocks are formed due to the intense heat and pressure through the process of squeezing this material on the Earth's surface. So these rocks, metamorphics, are the rocks that result from this process, often have ribbon-like layers and may have shiny crystal-like formations, which form this type of minerals, this type of rocks. So an example of this rock type include the igneous and the marble rocks, which form these types of rocks. Finally, we have igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are formed when magma or molten rocks deep within the earth cools or hardens. So majorly, when we talk of the igneous rocks, we talk of the magma, which majorly occurs in regions of volcanic eruption. Like for instance, in Kenya, we have the Menengai, which is one of the active volcanic mountain regions, and we have other regions like in Baringa and the rest, which form this part of volcanic eruption regions. So majorly when we go to these regions, we will find these igneous rocks. So the moment these eruptions occur, there are those lava which flows into the earth's surface and hardens up, and there are those magma which cools inside the earth, so forming these igneous types of rocks. So sometimes the magma cool inside the earth, another time it erupts onto the surface from the volcanoes. So that is what I have said. Those flows into the surface are the lava. When lava cools very quickly, no crystal form and the rocks look shiny and glassy-like. So sometimes cast purple are trapped in the rock during the cooling process, leaving tiny holes and space in the rocks. So that's an explanation of igneous rocks. An example of this type of rock is a basalt and an obsidian rocks, which are shiny and classy in appearance. So in this lesson, we have looked into this definition of rocks, which we have learned and defined through and say it's a natural occurring solid mass formed on the surface of the planet, which for example Earth is one of the planets. So these rocks are formed on this surface and they are naturally occurring. And we proceed to look at the types of rocks. The types of rocks, we have three types. It's classified into three. We have the igneous rocks, we have sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic. So from this image you can you can see that what we have explained, and we will look more into that and know the differences between these types of rocks. So and that is the end of our lesson. There is an assignment I want to give you. You go and research on the assignment, and it will be submitted online through our portal. And the assignment is describe the steps in rock cycle. Describe the steps in the rock cycle, and that assignment is 15 marks. Work on it, and you submit online. Then I will create those assignments for that homework. So let me wish you all the best. Thank you for attending this class, and enjoy your evening. If there's anyone having a question, you can just respond. Anyone? So since there is no any question, thank you and enjoy your evening.